Hi! So today we're going from naturally sparse, thin brows to a more presentable everyday brow that can be placed with a natural everyday makeup tinted moisturizer face or a MAC Pro Longwear full beats glam going clubbing face. Or you can be like me and just go to the movies, you know, real fancy like. So, first thing you need are brushes. The ones that I have are an angled eyeliner brush from Sephora and a flat concealer brush from Morphe. You need to have brushes that are thin so that you can control them easier. It's kind of like drawing. If you have a sharpened pencil, it's going to be a lot nicer and crisper than if your pencil needs to be sharpened. One method of doing eyebrows is with a powder. You can follow the same technique that I'm about to show you. The only thing you need to do is put your wax down first to give your powder something to stick to. Another popular method is with a pomade. These guys are waterproof, they're really pigmented, and they last a long time. Finding the shape of your brow. Take your eyebrow brush, anchor it against your nose, have it going straight up. That's where your eyebrow should start. Keeping it anchored at your nose, looking straight, and then angle the brush through your pupil. That's where your arch should be. Keeping the brush anchored at your nose, tilting it towards the edge of your eye. That is where the tail of your eyebrow should be. As you're measuring where your shape is, go ahead and put little dots where you've measured. Okay, so now we're getting to the fun stuff. So at this point, if you're using powder, you should go ahead and do this step, but with your wax, and then go right on top of it and do that with your powder. Remember, you've got to give that powder something to stick to. You're going to coat both sides of your eyeliner brush with whatever product you're using and wipe off any extra product. While you're wiping off that extra product, you're actually flattening the bristles of the brush at the same time, and that's going to give you an even more precise line to work with. What I'm showing you here is that you want to go with the angle of the brush. If you flip that brush over and try to use it backwards, you're going to get a big fluffy line. So basically now it's time to connect the dots. With a light hand, go in and connect the first line to the second line and the second line to the third line. This should give you a nice basic shape to the under part of your brow. The next thing you need to do is find a happy medium on where you're holding your brush. If you hold it too close to the bristles, you're going to bear down too hard and dispense too much product. If you hold it too far back, you're not going to have enough control over your strokes. Another general tip, whatever method you're using, nothing you should do should be a straight continuous line. Everything should be little flicks because you're trying to mimic hair. So go in and do the same thing we just did on the bottom of your brow to the top of your brow. If you need to take a second to remeasure and kind of get the perfect angle that you want on the top of the brow, take a minute to do that. And at this point, all I'm doing is taking the very tip, pointed tip of my brush and doing little hair-like strokes until I've filled in every part of my brow. And guys, this process does not have to be perfect by any means. This is exactly what our concealer is for. Your concealer in this instance is basically just your eraser. And most of the time I will say that you should do your hair-like flicks in the way that your hair would naturally grow. But sometimes you just kind of need to work with it. I have a couple spots where product does not like to take because I have scars from where I had stitches. I'm not sure if it's because the texture of my skin is different there, but I do, if I'm using a pencil, I have to go back and forth over that certain area a few times or it will look lighter than the rest of my brows. I'm not the biggest fan of like that ombre where the beginning of your brow is basically non-existent and then your eyebrow gets really dark towards the tail, but I don't want it to be super dark to begin with. So I'm going to wait and there's the least amount of product on my brush before I start going in to the beginning of my brow. Okay, so now it's time for concealer. I'm going to go right underneath my brow to make that nice and crisp. And I'm going to take off just a little bit of that arch because I made it a little too pointed. Instead of just leaving that crisp line right underneath my brows, I'm going to drag a little bit of that concealer down towards my eyelid and then blend that out so it's nice and seamless. Then I'm just going to erase this little top part here. And now that I like my shape, I'm going to go in with just a little bit more product and sharpen up those edges where I may have gone a little bit overboard with the concealer, and deepen up any extra parts of my eyebrow that I feel aren't quite as deep as the rest. And here we have one happy eyebrow and one sad eyebrow. Happy eyebrow, sad eyebrow. And with the power of editing, we're gonna fix that now. Still working on that. Moving right along. We're going to go into eyebrow gel paste. Anyway, okay, so this stuff is called brow gel. You're going to basically use this to bring your eyebrows back to life, especially if you used a pencil or a powder. It just brings texture back to your eyebrows. And it also keeps your eyebrows in place. So like if they're like mine, they're a little long and they're a little unruly, so they just kind of go wherever they want to go. This will keep them in place all day. And if you want to be extra like me, I know you're thinking you already saw this clip, but you'd be wrong. I like to use two different colors. I'll use a lighter color in the front and a darker color in the back, just to kind of give a little bit of a gradient, make it look a little bit more quote-unquote natural. And that is it, ladies and germs. Your eyebrows are done. You can go ahead and put the rest of your makeup on and do your dances. Ariana Grande's Seven Rings was on, hence the little block I had going on there. But yeah, this is my basically everyday, goes with every single eye look, makeup look, eyebrow. Yeah. See you next time, guys. Bye!